Weird noise. Ash, from an Arsenal point, yeah, still doing it. Every time you unmute, Tom, it's like he's underwater. It's kind of weird. Ash, from an Arsenal point of view today, obviously a big win was needed. You went down to 10 men. Were you proud of the sort of perseverance and the way the team carried on fighting today, especially when it was 10v11?
Yeah, exactly. And I said it in the watch along as well, because one criticism I've had for our club is that big up to young Brandon is whenever we've gone down to 10 men, like oh, Marmoush is gonna score. Oh my god, he almost did. Yeah, every time we've gone down to 10 men and played against 11, like it's just been a repetition of the same thing where we go into our shell, we sit back, we let the other team attack. And I said it before Gomez got sent off. We showed a lot of attacking intensity. We showed proper intention to go and attack and try to commit people forward, which was really encouraging to see. I think if Gomez didn't get sent off, to be honest, I don't know if we would have won that game, because I just feel eventually Wolves would have grown into the game and they would have started getting more confidence. But they are so bad defensively that we should have been 2-3 goals up in the first half. I know they missed the best chance of the game in the first half with Sarabia, but how Havertz missed those two headers, especially the second one, is beyond me. Initially, I was like, oh, great save, Jose Sa, damn. And I see the replay, and actually, Jose Sa didn't even lift his foot. It was planted on the floor. The ball just went straight to the foot. He just tilted it a little bit. So, yeah, Chelsea scored. Chelsea 1-0 up. Damn, Madueke.
Wow. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. I hear you on that.
It was bad.
Yeah.
So, and I'm glad Giuseppe said what he said. I'm glad we won the game, because now when I say this, it won't seem like it's an excuse, because I don't like blaming the refs. That red card is a horrendous decision. It's one of the worst decisions I've seen in terms of sending off. As Giuseppe said, he didn't even wait. The moment the foul happened, he's like, oh, I have to. I've got no choice. I guarantee you that's what he's been saying. It's mental. Someone in my comments was saying, yeah, but he had no intention to play the ball. So what about all those guys who run through and then defenders or the midfielders hold them from the jersey to stop them from running because they know they'll get a yellow card? They don't have any intention to play either. That was mad. And Gomez's foul, by the way, was a straight red, because he went studs into the freaking ankle. Husanov, by the way, just made a massive blunder and headed the ball to Jackson, who gave it to Madueke. But anyways, yeah, look, good win. I don't think we'll win the league, but at least it's good to keep that kind of distance and keep chasing Liverpool. So it's obviously good. I think they will probably lose next week or drop points against Bournemouth. And if we beat City, we at least make it interesting. And we have to beat City. I'm sorry, there's zero excuses for us not to beat City, especially after what happened in the first game, and especially with how crap they've been playing recently.
Yeah. Sorry, the new signing almost just got himself sent off as well. Then he's having a mare. He's having an absolute mare. But we'll talk about that on the match reaction later. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. Who wants to go next from an Arsenal point of view?
Let me jump in because my son's yelling in the background. Okay. I'm just gonna say this, Cunha, you failed. If this was you trying to impress us, you failed. And I don't think that Cunha performance was anything to make me like say we need to go sign that guy right now. And I think that's one aspect I was looking at. I was watching him see if he could do something of magic, have a moment of magic, do something brilliant. But I don't think he really did that good. I'm looking at the rest of the team. Mazu Skelly's sending off was ridiculous. That has to be one of the worst sending offs I've seen in a long time. Probably the worst sending off I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if I've ever seen a sending off that bad. And I don't know what the rules are anymore, because it seems like they're making it up on the fly. Every day we seem to see a new first at Arsenal. Why is it always Arsenal's the first team that has 2 yellow cards for fouls in the same scene? And that's also the same ref. Why is it Arsenal the first time you see a player who's already given a red card challenge, give another red card challenge and only get a yellow? We've seen these situations over and over again. I'm sick and tired of talking about refereeing decisions. The referees in this league don't seem to want to do anything about it. And I do feel targeted, but hey, it is what it is. Good thing these boys stepped up. They won the game. They made this game afterthought because they won the game. But I don't want you guys to forget. I don't want you guys to forget this, what happened today with the refereeing decision. That was ridiculous.
Can I just quickly point out as well that
sorry, let me finish.
Miles Lewis.
Let me finish,
okay,
bro. then the rest of the performance, overall, the attack is what it is. This is what we have to our disposal. If you want to crown them shit, call them whatever you want to call them. But the reality is, today, Mikel Arteta needs to be given his flowers. The guy had no options on the bench, had nothing to do with that he could do offensively to change the game. He brought on a defender who ended up scoring the winner. So you got to give Mikel Arteta some credit for taking off one of our more attacking midfielders who was not having the best of games. Mazu Skelly, I would say, sorry, not Mazu Skelly, Ethan, I would say was having like a 6 or a 5 out of 10 performance. He was very sloppy, young kid. He wasn't having his best performance in the midfield. But hey, we did what we needed to do. Proud of the boys. Now let's see what we can do for the rest of the season, because we cannot survive like this without more attacking depth. We need to do something, and as soon as possible.
Yeah. Sorry, I got to go on, Matt. What do you want to say?
Yeah. I just want to point out that Miles Lewis-Skelly was having a fantastic game before he got sent off. He was looking to be the man of the match. He was winning every foul. He was tackling. He was making brilliant passes. He was doing everything he's done week after week, and that just ruins it. And I think that just really pisses me off a bit, because he's an incredible star boy, really. But I actually am really proud of our players, because they did not let that phase them. They used that anger they had to actually win the game. And yeah, big up the players for that.
Yeah. Also, Kai Havertz, guys, Kai Havertz, the header that everyone's talking about, it's quite difficult. We got to give. I'm gonna give him a break today.
Please don't do it. Don't fuck it.
Oh my god! I'm gonna give Kai Havertz a break.
What's wrong with my fan base, bro? These man are so soft, bro. You man are so soft, bro.
I'm gonna give Kai Havertz.
Sorry for him. Oh my god, why can't he have anything? Bro, get out of here, bro. This guy gets paid 27K a week.
1 second,
bro. 27K a week.
The header that he got on target, that was a good save from Jose Sa. You gotta give him credit,
bro. He headed it straight. He headed it straight at the keeper, bro.
Yeah, both things can be true. Yeah, it was a good save, but it was an absolute terrible execution, right? And any competent striker, right, would put that in the back of the net. So we can say both is true.
But once again, it's on the board, bro, because this guy has no confidence, and anyone who's played sport knows that confidence is key in sport. I'm not even trying to defend Havertz today. The misses, they were awful. But once again, I'm not on Havertz anymore right now. I'm on the board right now.
I agree with you, Giuseppe. Sorry, I was going to say, Sard, I want to pose that as a question to you. I think everybody knows what Kai Havertz lacks. Does there come a point where you have to stop criticizing him and criticizing the board and whoever is making the decisions to have him as the only number 9 fit at the club? Like, surely the criticism has to step away from him. Does that make sense?
The board. I don't think the board.
Hang on.
No, hold on. Let me just answer. I don't think it's the board. I don't think it's the board.
Oh my god! Why did they score? Oh, they should have gone 2-0 up. Carl Palmer stupidly he overhits. He tried to do a FIFA and knock it to the side, but he overhit the pass to Nico Jackson. They should have gone 2-0 up. Poor from Chelsea.
This Havertz thing is not on the board. This because it came out numerous times that the board were against signing Havertz. They didn't want to sign Havertz. The one who wanted to sign Havertz was Mikel Arteta, and it came out. He put his neck on the line. He said to them, I'm vetoing that signing. I want him. Whatever it takes, you go out and get Kai Havertz. So the one who has to hold smoke for this Kai Havertz signing, that we have Kai Havertz, is Mikel Arteta. You guys are going to sit here and say no.
Bro, you have to answer the question.
I don't think Kai Havertz has been a bad signing, though. This is the thing, bro.
He's got 15 goals.
Hold on. No.
Can I finish before you guys get emotional? You might have just getting emotional for no reason, bro. Relax. I do still blame the board for us not getting replacements, for us not getting other strikers. But when it comes to Havertz being there and us having to utilize Havertz in that position now, that has to fall on Arteta. That has to, because he brought him in as a midfielder. It failed, so he tried to put him up top, and then at the start of the season, he said, "I'm happy with him. I'm happy with him up top. I'm happy with him to perform there. I'm happy with him to be our striker." So I can't sit here and just let Mikel Arteta skate off. Yeah, get off scot-free when he was the one who backed the signing, bro. Like, I can't let that happen. But I do still blame the board.
I get that. Giuseppe, what were you What are you going to say to that, Giuseppe? Thank you.
Yeah. I was just going to say, bro, listen, I don't think Kai Havertz has been a bad signing. I actually think he's been a good signing. I think the problem is we've relied on him too much as a striker on his own with no one else. Yeah, if we had brought in a Victor Gyökeres or a Isaac or something, we'd all be sitting here and we wouldn't be saying nothing bad about Havertz. We'd be like, Havertz is great for the team. Havertz is good for the team. The problem is now, Havertz is being scapegoated all the time in the sense of we know he's not clinical. That's not his game. He's not that type of striker. Yeah, what he does at the moment is out of confidence. But when he was in confidence, what he done, bringing everyone into games and stuff when our wingers were scoring goals, he's actually a good player to have in your squad, in your team. Yeah, but man didn't want to laugh and man didn't want to talk like he's a shit player when these man were all twerking for him. So I don't get it because they want to just turn because they're angry at us not scoring goals and they've got to blame someone and they want to blame Havertz. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say Havertz is amazing or Havertz and no one has any blame. I don't think the signing was a bad signing now. At first I did. I don't think it's a bad signing. I think that he's just been let down that we haven't signed another striker.
Let me just jump in here. There's another factor that you guys are completely forgetting about this. Havertz is one of our only choices right now. We're so down to our bare bones. Saka's injured. You had Ethan just come back from an injury. Jesus got injured. We sold ESR and and Eddie Nketiah and didn't replace them properly. These are also factors in why we are putting so much pressure on one individual player that we should not be necessarily putting that much pressure on to. Because Saka being injured has now shifted all the attacking prowess on Kai Havertz. Whether you like it or not, Kai Havertz is currently our best attacker after Saka, and that's based on
embarrassment. That's an embarrassment.
Over the last 2 years,
the pressure should be on the board.
Can I just touch on something here? Because the question Terry asked, and this is why I was disagreeing with you, Sard. The question he asked was, is it right that everything falls onto Kai Havertz? So we're not talking about the manager. Is that on the board? That was a simple question. That there's only one striker in the squad, and that's Kai Havertz. That was the question. Then you started going on to a random tangent about Arteta wanting Havertz. That wasn't the question asked, brother. That's why I disagreed with you, right? Simply as two things can be true. Yes, what your whole point about Arteta being the advocate for Havertz is true, and he's made a bad signing. Every manager's made signings that hasn't hit. Yeah, Pep's done it with Jack Grealish. Ferguson's done it with numerous. Wenger's done it. Ancelotti's done it. Everybody's made dud signings. But the reality is the board hasn't addressed that failing of bringing in a clear, competent number one striker who can lead the lineup for Arsenal and get them the goals and be the deciding player in big games. That is the real question, because like Giuseppe touched on, if we had another striker who was our first team, who superseded Havertz, no one would be complaining about having him as a backup player who can come in certain games. The issue is this guy shouldn't be our number one. So that's the only reason why I was disagreeing with you, because you never really answered the question.
Listen, I'm just gonna say this because I just want to speak about the game before I get off. I'll make it quick, Tel, because I know you want to wrap up.
That's right, mate.
Martinelli Havertz were completely shit in this game. If we're talking about it in isolation, well, actually, for Havertz is not in isolation. But listen, I was saying this. I knew that this performance was coming from Havertz. Yeah, these men were sitting there slating me. Talk about the performance today. I spoke about the performance today. Yeah, he was good on that day. Scored and got an assist, and then we're back to normal Havertz. I don't really like to do this whole like soft shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but we talk about Havertz like as if the guy is. We talk about him like as if the guy is on like 80k a week, and he's a player who's been put into this like position where all of this stuff is put on his shoulders. Of course, there's other attackers there, 100%. But I'm sorry, when you're getting clear-cut chances like that, and you're playing for my football club, which is known to have clinical strikers who, if they get chances like that, they put in the back of the net. I'm not going to sit here and let it slide. I'm not going to let that slide so easily.
I do agree with you. Sorry to interject. I agree with your point.
No, go ahead.
I think you're right to criticize him, bruv. The thing for me is that I said this for a lot about my own club, so energy is the same.
Yeah.
Ollie ain't good enough. Ollie ain't good enough. Ollie ain't good enough. After I've said it 4 or 5 times, I stopped speaking about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and I moved to the board. Because the board are the ones
because
that
it gets repetitive
at the club.
Yeah,
it's not so much that it's repetitive. It's, well, we all know what you think of Kai Havertz, and I get your point. That'll be a good performance one week, and the next week it isn't. So for me, the question is, it doesn't matter how much Arteta advocated for him or not, because if you don't think it's been a good signing, you don't think it's been a good signing.
Yeah.
But the pressure should be on replacing him and bringing somebody else in. And when you listen to Arteta speak, you can clearly tell he wants more firepower. So that's him saying we need more, right? And I think that a bit of, I'm not saying you do this. I think a lot of Arsenal fans' ideology comes into it. So I don't want Arteta to get another striker, especially not if a good one, because it might prolong his stay at the club if we start winning more games and he starts doing more things. So there is definitely Arsenal fans that think that way.
Enemies of progress.
No, I understand that. And I think that that's why the focus always sometimes on in a lot of these conversations with all of our clubs, it becomes quite reductive. And it's like, we're just going to focus on Kai Havertz being a bad player, because then you don't have to suggest solutions. Then you don't have to move on to the root cause problem. And too many football fans, when it comes to an issue like Kai Havertz, will ignore the root cause problem or where change can come from, and they'll just focus on the symptoms. It's if you keep, Neeks always used to say this, if you've got a brain tumor, painkillers will get rid of the headache for a period of time, but you ain't going to fix the problem. And I think that sometimes those conversations got to go there. I think